What is up, my outstanding audience? Today we're going to be doing another total drama video, and this one's actually pretty special because, for one, it's a season with 26 episodes, finally, and for two, this video suggestion actually came from one of you guys, and I tried to work with it, and I think I made an outstanding story, so stick around, because it's really entertaining. So, you read the title, you saw the thumbnail, you know what this challenge is. What if Courtney got booted instead of Gwen? So how this would work is, I think Cody wouldn't get dizzy and they would just all vote for Courtney. It's pretty simple. Now, I don't have episode 18 up, but I still want to talk about it because sadly, the amazing song of "We Built Gwen's Face" would never exist. It's really sad because I really love that song, but I still think Team Chris is winning this, but it's a non-elimination, so it doesn't really matter. And now it's merge time. So goodbye, teams. Alright, episode 19. The wedding challenge. I think the pairs are going to be the exact same, except for Courtney and Duncan. It's just going to be Gwen and Duncan. So who I think is going to win the first part, I think it's going to be either Gwen and Duncan or Heather and Alejandra. The only reason being is because we saw they can win. But now that Duncan's not teasing with Courtney, they'll just get there first or second. But the implication of this will matter because now Alejandro doesn't have Courtney, so he loses one ally, and Duncan and Gwen are together, so he loses another. So, and I think Owen's gonna kind of be on their side, so he loses another. So the only ally he has right now is Heather, because he hasn't seen Cody and Sierra yet. So he's gonna try to get Blanley on his side, and he's gonna try to win. But I do think Gwen and Duncan will get to the wedding dress first and then win, because we saw Duncan would be able to answer the questions. And, I mean, it's about Canada, so Gwen will probably be able to answer. And we saw Cody answer the questions pretty well. Well, he answered one of them, I think. It doesn't really matter, so Gwen and Duncan win. So who do I think is going to get voted out? I think these three right here, why do I always do that? These three are going to go up to Cody and say, hey, if you join us, we'll pick somebody to vote with you. He's going to say Sierra. And then Heather's going to realize that Alejandro is starting to build up an army because he has Sierra and Blanley. So he's going to go to Cody and ask, who do you want to get voted out? I'll team up with you. And he says Sierra. So Sierra's going home with 5 votes. It doesn't really matter who anyone else votes for. Episode 20. This episode, who I think's gonna win the first part of the challenge, I think Owen and, like the carriage that Blanley rode in? I think Owen is now going to put Duncan and Gwen in that, because we saw that he's been able to do that in the redonkulous race. And it was like the exact same kind of thing. I think they're going to ask Cody, but then Cody goes with Heather, so they get mad at Cody. And I think Alejandro's still going to get the skateboard, and Blanley and Heather are going to fight over the bike, and I think Blanley's going to get it, and Heather will get the shoes or pogo stick, and Cody will get donkey. I think everybody's going to make it here since no one will really be distracted besides maybe Heather and Blanley. But neither one of them would win the challenge, so it doesn't really matter. Obviously, Owen's going to win. I mean, it's an eating challenge, pretty obvious. Like, he's an awesome eater. And Sierra won last time, so... And Blanley and Alejandro suck at eating. Cody wouldn't eat the donkey. Heather wouldn't eat the worms. Duncan wouldn't eat the starfish. And Gwen wouldn't do particularly well. So who I think is going to get eliminated, I think the trio over here is going to be mad at Cody. So these 3 are going to vote for Cody. And these 4, since they're going to get Cody on their side, because they realize that they're going to probably vote for him, are going to vote out Duncan. But I think Blaney is super mad at Heather for, being so close to Alejandro, that she's going to vote for Heather, which means Duncan and Cody are tied, and those two get eliminated, causing a double elimination just like in the original. Episode 21. This one is the Serengeti episode. Now, since Blaney didn't get booted, she can't talk about Ezekiel. She can't, say Ezekiel's still hiding on the plane. Abba. So I think they're just going to hunt a rabbit deer. I feel like that would be something Chris would do. The first part of this challenge, I think Alejandro is going to win since his soccer playing. I think Owen would do pretty well. I think he would just take the soccer balls. I think Heather and Blaney would still be at their rivalry, on each other's nerves. And I do think either, Alejandro's probably going to win this. And if he doesn't, maybe, Gwen does. Because I think he's going to take the ammo from Heather. And they're going to find the deer. And he's going to throw the tranquilizing bolt at him, whatever the heck it was, and it's gonna knock down the deer and causing him to win. And Blaney wants Heather gone, and Alejandro says they're voting for Gwen, and Blaney doesn't listen, and Heather agrees to vote for Gwen, and now these two are gonna vote for Heather, which means it's a free V2 for Heather, which means Heather is out of here. Episode 22 is the egg hunt challenge. I don't really know who would win this, since Alejandro's the only one left that was actually originally in this challenge. So what I think is going to happen is everyone's probably going to be decent at getting their eggs. Alejandro's going to have the basket from last time, and he's obviously going to probably share that with Blaney. I think they'll do decent. I think Owen and Gwen would do decent. And I think they'll all make it up to the mountain. And I don't really know who would win, but I'm assuming it's gonna be Alejandro. Just for, story type reasons, and also just because he had, the mask on, so the, eagle thing couldn't hurt him and all that. So, yeah, I think Alejandro's winning. And who do I think, because, remember, they had Chris reveal the votes at the end, but then he revealed that it was a non-elimination challenge. So Alejandro is going to tell Owen to vote for Gwen to save Owen. And then Gwen's going to vote for Blaney, and then Blaney and Alejandro are going to vote for Owen, since Alejandro always hated Owen. So Chris is going to reveal the tapes and see that, and Owen's going to see that Alejandro and Blaney voted for him. And Owen gets mad at Alejandro. It starts getting, really angry. And Gwen tries to calm him down. And this one's a non-elimination. Chris reveals that it was a non-elimination, so Owen is safe. So, episode 23. Owen is still mad at Alejandro. And Blaney starts to see it's a 2v2. So, Blaney gets Chef on her side. Remember that storyline? So, I think this is where it's going to happen now. So, Blaney has Chef on her side. And he's going to help her with the votes this time, since the oil cannons, there's nothing they can really do about that. I think Alejandro just keeps winning these challenges. He wins the first part of the challenge. I think either Blaney or Alejandro will win the second part. Probably Alejandro will let Blaney have the win, since they're so certain that they'll win, that they won't get voted out. He just lets Blaney have the win. So these two are voting for Alejandro. And Blaney tells Chef to get Gwen off. Alejandro tells Blaney to get Owen off, but Blaney never really liked Gwen. And Gwen is a goth girl, and Blaney is kind of disgusted by that. So Blaney tells Chef to rig the vote to get Gwen off. And so when it comes down to the elimination ceremony, Gwen gets eliminated unfairly. And Owen is surprised, since he's like, but I never voted for Gwen. How'd this happen? I didn't vote for Alejandro. I didn't vote for Blaney. And Gwen is shocked, and Gwen gets the boot. So, final three looks like this. But now that the plane hasn't exploded, I think what's going to happen is they're just gonna race ski boats because in real life it takes overnight to race on boats to get to Hawaii. So, and also did they just buy the boats? Like, where is Chris getting these boats from? That had to be part of the challenge. So yeah, they just use speedboats to race around. And Owen is bumping into Alejandro. He's still mad about the unfair Gwen elimination. Still mad that he voted for him. So those two are bumping heads while Blaney gets ahead and Blaney wins the challenge. And I think Owen's the last one to finish since Alejandro does something to his boat or something. And it looks like Owen's about to get eliminated when Chris reveals that he found out that Blaney was cheating, getting eliminated, and making the final two Owen and Alejandro. Big twist! Whoa! So yeah, I think that's my order for what would happen if Courtney switched out with Gwen. Thank you guys so much for the love and support you've given me on these challenges. And with the finale, I mean, you can have Owen have Gwen and Duncan help him, and you can have Heather have Blaney and Alejandro have Blaney and Heather. Thank you guys all for the love and support. I'll see you guys next time. I think the next video is going to be Total Drama again, because I have another idea. Bye-bye.